Welcome back to the Dividend Investor channel. Today is 31st of October 2023, and in this video I'm going to share the dividends that I received in October, which brought the year-to-date dividend earnings to $40,000 Aussie. First, here's some disclaimer. Investing is inherently risky and presents a potential loss of capital. Past performance is not indicative of future results. I strongly recommend that you should consider all information provided on this channel as entertainment purposes only, and you should seek your own independent legal, financial, and taxation advice. Alright, here we go. This is a screenshot of my ShareSite account showing all the dividends that I've received from my VAS ETF, Vanguard Australian Shares ETF, since I converted most of my individual stocks into low-cost broad market index funds ETF, one of which is VAS. So you can see here that I first received dividends in January 2022, and I kept topping up my positions, and the last dividend that I received, which would have been 17th of October, was 13,700 gross, and I received a net of 10,000, and the rest was franking credits. In the last year, so calendar year 2023, the 4 dividends that I received from VAS totaled 37,400 Aussie, which was a great year. It's not as high as the dividends I received in 2022, but still overall, it's still pretty satisfactory results. This is a nice bar chart from the ASX website on VAS. As you can see, the distribution history in the last 5 quarters, it tends to peak around July or October, and then it'll come down a bit in January and April, and then it goes back up again because most companies report their full results in July and August, and they'll mostly pay out their big dividends around September to November. The bulk of which is usually in October. Apart from VAS dividends, I also received about $600 Aussie from my S&P 500 ETF on the 16th. Throughout 2023, I received a total of $2,100 from IVV. Yes, thank you, Indy. My corgi just reminded me that I also received about $250 Aussie from my VTS, the Vanguard US Total Stock Market Shares. I did have that ETF, but I sold it around mid this year due to just more complicated arrangement because it's cross-listed. Okay, let's have a look at my portfolio. These 2 tables present the same information. The top one is from my broker, and the bottom one is from ShareSite. I have included both because they have information that the other one doesn't. So as of today, 31st of October 2023, I have holdings of IVV with a market value of about 152,000 Aussie, and I have Vanguard Australian Shares ETF with market value of about 653,000. As you can see in the profit and loss table, due to recent falls in the stock market, I think actually both the S&P 500 hit a correction of 10% since July high, and the ASX 200 and also 300 also hit 1-year low. I'm currently incurring about 76,000 of unrealized loss on my VAS, and I have also less unrealized gains on IVV. Now I've highlighted this table, this column at the end that says waiting, because I am slowly increasing my IVV. This month I bought about $2,000 of IVV. So over time, the weighting should increase. It's still a long way from my target of 50-50, but we're getting there. Now the bottom one from ShareSite, this is what every portfolio should be measured on, which is the total return. That is, even though, if you look at my VAS, even though my VAS is currently down about 76,000, but I have received dividends of about 96,000, bringing my total return on my fast position portfolio to $19,000 in the green, in the black. So that's what it should be measured on. Also on IVV, even though it's got 13,000 unrealized gains, I've also got about $3,000 of dividends that I've received, bringing my total return to 16,000. So overall, my portfolio has a total return of about 35,000. And last but not least, I'm going to touch very briefly on some of the changes to the index constituents. As I've mentioned before, when you invest in index funds, it's also important to know what you're actually investing in. So on the S&P website, it says that from the 18th of October 2023, S&P will remove United Malt Group from the ASX 200 because it will be acquired by Malteries Soufflé. I hope I pronounced that correctly. United Malt is the world's fourth largest commercial maltster, producing bulk malt for brewers, craft brewers, distillers, and food companies. The acquirer, Malteries Soufflé, is a branch of French agribusiness In Vivo. So because it was a foreign takeover, it had to get the Foreign Investment Review Board, which it did. With UMG leaving the ASX 200, it will be replaced by Light & Wonder. Light & Wonder, formerly Scientific Games Corporation, is an American corporation that provides gambling products and services with revenue of about $2.7 billion US in 2020. Next, we have Newcrest Mining, also to be removed from ASX 200 because it's being acquired by Newmont Corporation. Quite interestingly, with Newcrest Mining leaving ASX 200, Newmont Corporation will be joining ASX 200. Lastly, on these changes, InvoCare, which is an operator of funeral homes and cemeteries, is being acquired by Eternal Bidco. So it's leaving the ASX 200 on November 6th, and it'll be replaced by Emerald Resources. And on the S&P 500 side, we also have two changes. One, with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft being approved and a done deal, it's going to, I guess, not technically leaving S&P 500, but it's gonna not exist as a stock and a company. It's going to get absorbed into Microsoft, so there's a vacuum, and they're replacing it with Lululemon. Also, secondly, Organon is leaving the S&P 500 and it's being replaced by Hubble, which is a company that designs, manufactures, and sells electrical and electronic products for non-residential and residential construction. It's exciting to have Lululemon. Welcome to S&P 500. Welcome to my farm. I think we'll leave it for now. I was already working on a couple more slides on a deeper philosophy of how I invest, but I think we'll leave it for the next video. Thank you again for watching this video. If you have any question or feedback, please leave it in the comments below. Happy Halloween, everyone. See you next time.